Welcome back to the Theory of Motivation. I am Dr. Reg Butterfield, talking to you about process theories of motivation. This is our fourth video of the series, and if you have not watched the first introduction video, I strongly recommend you to do so, as it puts the whole subject of motivation into context. In our second video in the series on motivation, we explained what process theory means. We then introduced in outline 3 examples of process theory. In our third video of the series, we explained Adams' equity theory of motivation. In this, our fourth video of the series, we will introduce and explain the third and final process theory of motivation, that of Locke's goal-setting theory. The series will then continue by examining content theories. Before watching this video, I suggest that you watch the second video if you haven't already done so. It introduced and explained what we mean by the term process theories of motivation. Let's get straight into our next process theory, that of Locke's goal-setting theory. Locke's goal-setting theory was developed in the 1960s as a result of research undertaken by Edwin Locke and Gary Latham. It is commonly known as Locke's theory. The theory is an integrative model of motivation, just like the expectancy theory that we explained in video 2, and shows how goals and feedback can be highly motivating factors for employees. The basic premise of goal theory is that people's goals or intentions play an important part in determining behavior. That is, it emphasizes the setting specific, challenging performance goals, and the commitment to these goals are key determinants of motivation. Locke and Latham were able to demonstrate that when you set a specific and challenging goals and receive regular feedback on your progress, then your productivity and motivation will increase. This becomes a cycle of activity and feedback that aims to reinforce or improve the degree of motivation and its subsequent impact on achieving the set objectives. This feedback approach has probably been one of the most used processes in performance management systems since its development in the 1960s. Goal-setting theory states that performance and motivation will increase regardless of whether your job is highly complex or low in complexity. This means that whatever job you or your team currently do, Locke's goal-setting theory is said to help improve productivity and motivation. So what is it about setting goals that helps to increase productivity? Whilst there are many reasons, the 3 most quoted are, first, that goals keep you focused on what's important. When you get sidetracked, you quickly realize that the distraction isn't moving you toward your goals. Goals make you more persistent. It's natural to have days when you're very motivated and other days when things aren't going so well. Having goals that you're committed to can give you the determination to push through the difficult times. And goals help you to rise to the challenge. If you're committed to achieving them, then stretch goals can help you to achieve more than you thought possible. According to Locke and Latham, there are 5 goal-setting principles that increase your chance of success: clarity, challenge, commitment, feedback, and task complexity. Let's examine each of the characteristics in turn. Clarity. To be motivating, goals need to be clear. When a goal is clear, it's easy to understand exactly what you need to achieve. It's not open to debate or interpretation. Conversely, when a goal is vague and imprecise, it's difficult to know if you've achieved it. To be motivating, goals need to be challenging, but not too challenging. A goal that is too easy to achieve won't motivate you to up your game and increase your performance. Similarly, a goal that you perceive as way beyond your capability won't motivate you either. It may actually demotivate you. For a goal to motivate, it must hit the point between challenging you but not over-challenging you. For example, to increase the number of customers from the present benchmark is too easy. However, increase the numbers of customers by 700% may be too challenging. Whereas increase the number of customers by 10% could be just right. For a goal to be motivating, you must be committed to it. Likewise, if you are setting goals for others, you need to ensure that they have brought into the goal. For example, you decide in a meeting with your boss what your team's targets will be, and then dictate these targets to your team. I suggest that in this case it is unlikely there will be commitment. Whereas you work with your team to determine together what the targets should be and how they can be met. Now you're going to gain commitment because it was developed together and your team have some ownership of the result. In order for a goal to continue to motivate you as you work towards it, you must receive feedback. For feedback to be effective, there must be a goal. Feedback must be received regularly, and all forms of feedback should be welcomed. If you're giving someone feedback that will or may be perceived as negative, then make sure you do so in a constructive way. For example, set your team members' goals, then organize a weekly check-in to monitor their progress. This is good practice. On the other hand, it's not good practice if you set team member goals, then forget all about them until their end-of-year performance review. This is bad for the morale of the team members and is not likely to motivate them. In order for a goal to be motivating, it must not be too complex. Highly complicated goals can be overwhelming and demotivating. If you break down complex targets into sub-targets, this is good target setting. Whereas if you set a complicated target and simply expect your team member to get on with it, then this is bad target setting. When using goal-setting theory as part of a performance management system, it is suggested that managers use the process of setting SMART objectives. This ensures that they fit Locke's 5 goal-setting principles. Whilst this process is explained in more detail in our series of videos on performance management, it is appropriate to say that the term SMART stands for the following elements: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. The key takeaway from the work of Locke's goal-setting theory is that goal setting, when done correctly, can be a powerful tool for boosting motivation and productivity. This applies both when you're setting personal goals and when you're setting goals for your team. Remember that Locke and Latham identified 5 principles to follow when setting goals. These are that the goals should be clear, challenging but not too challenging, explicitly committed to, involve regular feedback, and be as uncomplicated as possible. The model states that by using Locke's goal-setting theory, you can keep your team and yourself both productive and motivated. We have now reached the end of the first part of our series on motivation, where we looked into the process theories of motivation researched and developed by 3 leading writers. After introducing the subject of motivation in video 1, we moved on to the subject of process theories and explained Vroom's expectancy theory in video 2. We then went on to explain Adam's equity theory in video 3. This was followed by Locke's goal-setting theory in this video 4. In our next video, video 5, we will introduce content theories of motivation. This will include our first content theory, that of Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. Join me in exploring the group of 5 content theories of motivation.